Hello everyone, for this video, we are going to create our distance function. And our inputs will be the elements in our points list. Okay, so this will also be a review of how to create functions. So the syntax is def, and then get distance, we will name our function get distance. And then the parameters will be starting point and endpoint. Okay, so it is important to note that in our points list, the northings and eastings here are still in string format. So we need to convert it into a float because it is decimal. Because we cannot perform mathematical computations on strings, right? So let's convert them to floats. Okay, so we need to specify our start x. Start x is equal to float. So this is casting. So float and then starting point, and then the index will be 2. Okay, so why are we writing it like this? So because the starting point right here is an element right in this point list. So this is that, for example, we're starting with 1. Okay, so this is the starting point. Okay, so and why is the index 2? Because this is the x and the eastings, we're using the eastings, right? Okay, so float starting point and the index is 2. So we are getting this value right here. Okay, so the same thing that we're going to do for start y. So that's float and then starting point, and then the index will be 1. Okay, and we're going to create another. So that's end x. So this is for the endpoint. So float and then endpoint 2, and then ny is equal to float endpoint 1. Okay, so now that we extracted our coordinates from our points, so we need to compute for the distance. So we'll create our distance formula here. So return. So we're going to use our math library. So math.sqrt or square root. So this is math.power, and so there are two arguments here. So we are going to raise this to 2. So this is end or start. We'll start with the y first. End y minus start y. Okay, so that is y2 minus y1 squared. Okay, that's basically it. Then we're going to add that to the same format for our x. So I'm just gonna copy it. So just replace it with end x minus start x. Okay. So if we perform this square root, this distance function, it will have a lot of decimal places. So we are going to use another function called round. Okay, so we are going to round everything. So let's put parenthesis, and then we're going to round it to 3 decimal places. Okay, so basically after computing this function right here, I mean this formula, it will round it to 3 decimal places. The output will be rounded. Okay, so there you have it right there. Okay, so let's try it. Let's try it if it works. Okay, so we have a points list, right? So let's extract 2 points from it. So let's say point 1. Point 1 is equal to points list, point list. Let's extract point 1 there, so 0. Okay, and then point 2 is equal to point list 1. Okay, so there you have it. So let's try to print them. Let's try to print them so it will be very clear. Wait. Oh, it's not points list. The name of our list is just points. Okay, so that's why there's a line there. So let's print our point 1 and point 2 so we will see what the contents are for sure. Okay, so let's print them. Okay, so there you have it, point 1 and point 2. Okay. Oh, because we still have this code right here, right? So we need to delete this first. Okay, so there you have it, points 1 and 2. Okay, so let's use our newly created function. So let's create a variable. So let's say distance is equal to get distance. Then our arguments will be point 1 and point 2. Okay, so let's create it. And then let's print the distance. Let's see what we get. Okay, so there you have it. That's 434.803, and that's correct. Okay, so to recap, we defined our distance function in this video. So our parameters are starting point and end point. Then we extracted the northings and eastings, and we casted them to be floats because we cannot perform computations on strings. And then after doing that, we simply created our distance function, and then we rounded the result to 3 decimal places. And then we tested it, and then here we have our result, which is the correct result. Okay, so that's it for this video. So I hope you learned something new in this video, and see you in the next video.